time we discuss the next omnibus in the original Marvel years. We're in volume 2 now. This is the B cover. I used to have the A covers of these back in the day, but they burned down in the fire. I got a good deal on the B covers, and I like them. I like them quite a bit. But I must say, I don't like what we start off with. These are 5 standalone issues. We'll start with issue 45, which is about Luke. He and R2 are sent to look at this lost rebel transport or in space, the derelict, and they stumble across a probe droid. Nothing really happens. It's just now we can put Empire Strikes Back stuff in the Marvel comics. That would be cool and fine or whatever. But Archie Goodwin makes a mistake. He gives Luke a lightsaber. This is a curse that plagues a good chunk of these Star Wars comics between Empire and Return of the Jedi. So basically throughout this omnibus, because we don't get to Return of the Jedi till Volume 3. Which is kind of crazy to think about. How much time passes. We have a whole omnibus that doesn't even collect Return of the Jedi. I don't know why they didn't do that, but they didn't collect Jedi in this. I guess they were worried people wouldn't buy the post-Jedi stuff, but that stuff's pretty fun. What would I rank issue 45? 2 out of 5. It's very bland and boring. Next, we get to issue 46, which is a Lando Chewie story. Lando and Chewie end up going through like a time warp. Not like a time warp, but they go through like a hole in space and time. End up on this world, and the beings of this world are like reformed, and they're now pacifists, but the Imperials follow the Falcon into this, and they're forced to fight one last time. Whatever. It's weird. It's a weird story, and the author wanted Lando to become a pacifist. Lucasfilm said no. And this author was never allowed to write Star Wars again. When I think of issue 46, it's probably one of the worst issues of Star Wars that's ever been written prior to the Disney buyout. It's awful. It's truly, truly terrible. And what a terrible way to introduce Lando in his first EU story. Because I don't think the Lando books by L. Neil Smith had come out yet. This is Lando's first time to shine, and they try to make him a pacifist. What the hell? I don't know. But next, we move on. I would give this one, before we move on, issue 46, give it a 0 out of 5. Don't read this. Skip it. Utterly skippable. Next, we move on to issue 47. It's got Luke in it, but it's an R2-D2 C-3PO story, and it's better. Not much better, but it's better. In this, the rebels they found a prototype weapon that the Empire's going to try to use against them, and they need to go to this space station on the outskirts of known space where this guy lives, but only droids are allowed there because he's given up on humanity. So R2-D2 and C-3PO are tasked with trying to be diplomats. Meanwhile, there's an attempted droid rebellion on the space station. It's weird. It's a weird story. It's okay. It's nothing to write home about, but it's severely lacking in the creativity department. Like I said, right after Empire, it's like no one knew what to do with Star Wars, and it's kind of unfortunate. What would I rank this? Probably a 2 out of 5. It's okay. Next, we got issue 48, which is a Leia story. Leia is sent to this banking world to get money to build new X-Wings, but Darth Vader is there. But weapons are not allowed. So Vader brings 3 goons, and Leia and 3PO and R2 have to thwart them with this other diplomat and it's goofy, it's weird. It's written by Larry Hannah, which is kind of interesting. Larry Hannah, famous for writing Marvel's G.I. Joe series, which is very well regarded, and I would say worth your time to check out. Star Wars, not his wheelhouse. Um, Especially because, like, this, I have big issues. Vader is acting goofy. He's goofy, mustache twirling Vader again. But here's the deal: you can't do that after Empire. He barely got away with doing it in A New Hope. I mean, Vader was very hand gesturing in A New Hope, especially in the beginning of the film, because David Prowse, I think, thought that his voice would be used in the final film, like the final cut of the film, which it was not. So Vader's a little goofy. I mean, he does evil, scary things. I mean, he tortures Leia with the mind probe, forces her to watch her homeworld get destroyed. He does all these, like, evil things. He kills Obi-Wan. But, like, it's not till Empire where you realize how, like, scary and evil Vader is. I mean, like, he just brutalizes his own son that he knows is his son. Unlike Leia, where he doesn't know if she's his daughter. He does know that Luke's his son, and he beats him up and cuts his hand off. He tortures Han and Chewie, probably Leia. I mean, that's kind of implied, I suppose, in Empire. But here's the thing. He forced Leia to watch the love of her life get frozen in carbonite. And she's, like, doing, like, one-up jokes against him? Are you kidding me? That's not in character. That's stupid. That's really stupid. And this issue is stupid. Not as bad as issue 46 with Pacifist Lando, but still really bad. I give it a 0.5 out of 5. Then finally, we get to the diarrhea icing on this turd of a cake with issue 49. In this is called The Last Jedi. Luke, Leia, R2, and 3PO receive a distress call from an unnamed world, and they rescue this prince and his guardian, who is a force-sensitive bug alien that goes by the name Jedi, and he's crazy. He received a head injury when their ship crashed on this planet, when the prince and his betrothed fled for their lives, when his advisors staged a coup against him so they could get buddy-buddy with the Empire. Here's the hilarity of this issue. Marvel kind of forgot how big Y-Wings are, and for some reason decided a Y-Wing is the same size as the Millennium Falcon. Y-Wings carry 2 pilots. They barely have oxygen in them. But this Y-Wing is special because it has cabins. You can stand around and wander around in them. R2-D2 can get out of the astromech port and wander around the cabin. What? No, it's a cockpit. It's not a cabin. So 7, like, humanoid beings are in a 2-man Y-Wing in this at one point. And then the Y-Wing has wheels. And it lands like a jet airplane. That's so stupid. That's really stupid. But anyway, they rescue this prince, and the prince is like, well, we gotta disguise Luke and Leia. So Leia is disguised as his betrothed, which naturally the two of them fall in love. Even though the love of Leia's life is frozen in carbonite, it's like she forgot that Han Solo freaking existed. I don't get that. Luke is dressed as a pirate with a terrible mustache. But he does get to make out with the hot Imperial officer on the planet who tries to convince him to murder the prince. And she's, like, scheming against the government. That's a whole thing. And then Luke has a duel with the ambassador, like, that tried to stage the coup against the prince to put his younger brother in charge. It's literally like Eyes of the Dragon if Eyes of the Dragon was in Star Wars but stupid. It's very similar to that Stephen King story, but stupid and very rushed and a waste of my time. But Luke pulls out a lightsaber. It's a red lightsaber. So now we've gone back in time to the beginning of this freaking series when all the lightsabers were red for no reason. Here we go again. Because at least in issue 45 it was a blue lightsaber. Now he has a red one. Where did he get this one? Is it one of these magical Tales of the Jedi lightsabers so that everyone's lightsaber color changes for some reason? I don't know. I don't understand it. Where do you get the lightsaber from? Abel G. Pena. Why didn't you write a short story explaining this? Because this is truly a phenomenon that breaks my brain. Why does he have this? Why does he only have the lightsaber sometimes? Because we'll get to that too. Because sometimes he doesn't have it. I don't know. Also, his mechanical hand has like magical robot powers that gives him extra grip strength. You can do crazy things with it in this for 2 seconds. I don't know. Issue 49 sucks. It truly, truly sucks. Not as bad as issue 46, so it gets a 0.1 out of 5. I hated this. We got issue 50 coming up, and issue 50 is an oversized issue, and it's one that everyone seems to like, so I'm looking forward to it. So, anyway, have a nice day.